Hello, thank you for choosing my channel, and welcome if you're new. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Today I'm going to review my May journal pages, but while I was talking about why you might want to use some of your daily memories or some pieces of paper and sentiments that you have been collecting, I thought I would flip through the April here a moment. So, the little special moments that would be forgotten or missed without a daily thoughtful mindset of trying to choose something to write about in a journal, those are the things you might want to think about. For instance, the joy of a nap while sunlight plays in the curtains in your bedroom, a moment sipping a hot drink while staring at a mountain or a lake, or your pet looking at you with their goo-goo eyes knowing how much that they love you. When you collect and use those little sentiment things in a journal, they take on a lasting meaning. At least they're not stashed somewhere where you'll discover them in a number of years from now. You'll be enjoying them in the moment when you flip through your journal. Or maybe your family members find them after your passing and toss them. Then you didn't get to enjoy them at all and they meant nothing to them. Enjoy them and let the memories fill you with that joy once again when you look through your journal. So here we have May, and I've taken it out of the elastic band here. And I just used this cover sheet here from a watercolor book that I've been tearing the pages out of. And here's something that I did a year ago for a journal for a friend. And I thought I would just put it in here as a memory. It's a copy of the watercolor I did. And May Day, the first day of the month, I just did a little memory card here, just explaining what May Day was, the maypole, and how you put treats and flowers in paper baskets and drop them at a neighbor's or an admired person's door. And since there are 31 days in May, I had to cram an extra day in there somewhere on a page, so I have these days running. And on this particular day, which was here, the precipitation was predicted in terms of snow. And I thought that was very odd for May the 3rd. So I just had a little snapshot of my phone that I took there. On this side, this is just a photograph of a magazine and a card that I used to study for my art history class, The Persistence of Memory. I wrote it on, I have it on this side too, by Salvatore Dali. This page here was done in a previous video. Just showed my thought process of how I created it. This page here is Mother's Day. And these were the flowers that I received from one of my sons on that day. On this page, the picture of the hummingbird that comes, I've had them for years coming to my feeder. I told him how beautiful he was, that he was the prettiest jewel of the animal kingdom. And the other birds that were right not very far from him on my deck, getting ready to leave the nest. They left the next day. A little bit of sewing. This is just a stencil that I did on some paper. I guess I was practicing before I did the stencil in my son's room when he was much younger. These little swatches are from my other son, he did in school. This is a transfer that I did through a see-through piece of paper. I'm sorry, a plastic piece here that you use under a overhead projector like you would do a long time ago in schools. I guess younger people wouldn't know that. And I just took a marker and made a copy of a photograph that I did from my friend's pond. I never did use it for a piece of artwork. I was going to do a watercolor, so I thought instead of throwing it away, I'd just use it in here. This is from a book that's produced to be able to use in junk journals. This was a piece of artwork that I was going to do into an oil painting, but never did. I took that back in the 1970s, and then in 2002 I made this pastel, but didn't get any farther than that. This is one side of my father's drawing that he did. He was trying to come up with a plan for a talent cottage, music and arts rooms that he came up with, and this was the outside of it. It was just in pencil, and I took some colored pencils and penciled it up with some color because it was hard to see his lines. The bee went through there. And on this page here, I did quite a bit, and I didn't want to cover it up with the 27, so I just made a little pocket and have it in here. And my bird, I was looking for a feather from her. It was orange, but I didn't have one. The very next day she dropped one, so I put it in here, which made me think of our cockatiel that we used to have. And so his memory was in here too. The strawberries were producing fruit in my greenhouse, so I cut this out of a pre-made book and have it in there as a memory, and just some little tiny painted swatches that I did to emphasize color. I used a little bit of material here and some sewing, and this was a photograph from one of those books that you can use for journals. Just put it in here because it was a full moon on the 31st. And this was my middle page going into June. This was just something from my childhood I had sitting in a drawer for a long time, and I thought I could enjoy it in here. And it's made with a Gumby electric drawing set. I had a Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, things that you could copy, and it was a light box basically, and you put it on there and you could make a scene. This was just some practice I was doing. So there you go. I was going to show you the outside of the journal if you haven't seen that before. Let me take this out. These are all attached in here. So here's the back and the front, and it's the front cover. Put some beads on here, and this was a necklace that I had. Just put that in there. And the back of the journal is plain. I just took some, I'm not sure what this is called. I just glued it on there. Some trim. And it's gonna get chunky. I'm afraid when this one in here goes, and then, oh, I'm only halfway, not even halfway through. It's going to be difficult to close. But oh well, it's been fun. I hope I inspired you, because I certainly have an awful lot of fun working on it. So thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.